Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going on an investigation, and our target is one of the biggest, most complicated problems on the planet, the global supply chain. You know, that invisible network that gets basically everything from your phone to your food, right to your front door. But it's got a pretty dark side, and we're going to explore how artificial intelligence might just be the key to cleaning it all up.
To really get a handle on just how big this problem is, let's start with one number. 60%. Yeah. According to researchers, our supply chains are responsible for nearly 60% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. That is a massive, massive environmental footprint, just for the act of moving stuff around.
And believe me, the cost isn't just environmental. All those same inefficiencies, they add up to over $1 trillion in economic losses every single year. It's a huge drain on our planet and our wallets.
So yeah, this is our trillion-dollar problem, a network that's hiding enormous costs for both the planet and the economy. So let's officially begin the investigation. This brings us to our prime suspect, or maybe our prime solution. Could artificial intelligence, with its incredible ability to crunch massive amounts of data and spot patterns we humans could never see, could it be the hero of the story? Could it actually solve this ridiculously complex global puzzle?
Well, to find the answer, we have to turn to the evidence. And in this case, the evidence is an analysis of over 1,000 academic papers published over more than 2 decades. Think of it like cracking open the case files to see what the world's brightest minds have already figured out. All right, the AI investigation is on. Let's start following the trail of clues left behind in all that research.
So what did all that digging actually reveal? Let's get into the key pieces of evidence that show us where this field has been and, more importantly, where it's headed.
Okay, clue number 1 is the timeline. You can see that research in this area just absolutely exploded after 2020. I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic didn't just disrupt our supply chains, it ripped the lid off and showed everyone just how fragile they were. All of a sudden, finding AI solutions wasn't just an academic exercise, it was a matter of survival. Our second clue shows us where this investigation is really heating up. This is a truly global effort, but you can see that China is leading the charge in the sheer amount of research, with India and the United States right there in the mix. These 3 countries are really the epicenters of innovation here. Now, let's look at some of the most influential evidence. This quote from a paper that gets cited all the time talks about Industry 4.0. That's basically the move toward automated, superintelligent factories. The key takeaway here is that smart manufacturing isn't just about being faster. It's about using data to make production smarter and, at its core, way more sustainable. And this way of thinking goes way beyond the factory floor. Another huge paper points to a critical area: food. This idea of Agro-Food 4.0 shows how AI can make farming and distribution radically more efficient, cutting down on waste all the way from the field to your fork. Our last big piece of evidence shows that AI doesn't work alone. When you pair it with other technologies like blockchain, it becomes a total game changer for transparency. This combo lets us securely trace a product's entire journey, which builds a whole new level of trust and accountability right into the system. Okay, we've gathered the clues from the field. Now it's time to connect the dots. Because when you step back and look at all this evidence together, a few really powerful, big ideas start to emerge. And here's what that picture looks like. You've got AI and sustainability right at the heart of it, and they're both powered by big data. They connect to blockchain for that critical transparency we just mentioned. And all of this work leads to 2 incredibly important goals: creating a circular economy that's all about eliminating waste, and building supply chain resilience so we can withstand those global shocks. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the building blocks for a new, smarter system. So what exactly is a circular economy? Well, put simply, it's the complete opposite of our current take, make, and throw away model. It's a system that's designed from the ground up to eliminate waste and keep materials in use for as long as possible. And AI is absolutely crucial for this, because it can optimize recycling, predict when products will wear out, and help design systems where almost nothing gets thrown away. The other key concept here is resilience. As we all learned the hard way, our supply chains can be pretty brittle. A resilient supply chain is one that can bend without breaking. AI helps us build that by predicting disruptions before they happen, finding alternative suppliers in real time, and helping businesses adapt to shocks before they turn into full-blown crises. So our investigation has revealed a whole lot, but this case is far from closed. We need to look at the road ahead and at the unsolved mysteries that are still out there. Despite all this incredible promise, actually doing this stuff isn't easy. The research points to four major roadblocks. First, the high cost of investment is a huge barrier, especially for smaller companies. Then you have very real concerns about data privacy and security, trying to navigate a web of complex regulations, and of course, finding enough people with the right skills to actually build and manage these advanced systems.
Now, what's really interesting is seeing how our whole way of thinking about this is evolving. We're starting to move from Industry 4.0, which was all about automation and making machines smarter, to what people are calling Industry 5.0. This next chapter is all about human-machine collaboration, using AI not to replace people but to empower them, combining our human intuition with the raw analytical power of machines.
And the investigation is already heading into its next chapter. I mean, generative AI and large language models are completely revolutionizing the field right now. They can simulate everything from the impact of our hurricane on shipping routes to the effects of political turmoil, letting companies build defenses against disruptions before they even happen. They're also creating unbelievably accurate demand forecasts, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. So we end where we began, but with a much clearer picture now. The evidence is pretty compelling. AI really does have the potential to solve the trillion-dollar problem of our unsustainable supply chains. But it's not just a tech challenge. It leaves us with one last crucial question. As our technology gets smarter and smarter, can we make the wise choices needed to build a global supply chain that truly serves both the planet and all of its people?